Welcome to episode 86 of the Rash Challenges podcast. I'm Dave Lewis. That's Eric Neal. We got some footy to talk about. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, hanging in there. I gotta admit, it's all getting to me. The COVID fatigue, the working remote and working in the office, the kids cooped up, and I think just in general, my mental health is not 100% at the moment, but I'm working through it.
And a funny thing is, before you started that, I thought you were talking about Newcastle. I'm I don't feel good. I don't all that stuff. Mental health is down. We'll get to Newcastle. Real quick, Eric Neal. I've started watching some footy with my 5-year-old son, Sebastian. It's my dream. We're watching games, and he keeps saying, which team do we like? Which team? I'm like, we like the red team. We don't like that other team. He's like, oh, that's Eric's team. I'm like, no, it's not Eric's team, but you can say that. So anytime Liverpool play anybody, he thinks it's Eric's team, and he's against Eric's team, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love that. That's how it should be. My 3-year-olds can identify the Newcastle badge.
Yeah.
If you've seen, I have like pink Newcastle shirts, blue, like all different colors, whatever. No matter when they see it, my 3-year-olds see that, they're like, oh, it's Newcastle. And I'm like, yes, exactly. It's beautiful.
They'll be getting tattoos when they're 5.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let's get to Liverpool because I am excited. First off, middle of the week, they play in the Moose Cup. I like to call the Caribou Cup the Moose Cup. I get that off Rodney Marsh. But that was great. They win 7-2 with their scrubs. Origi and Minamino. Oh, my God. Minamino. So 7-2, it's a crap cup. Who cares? But at least, last year you'd play the young guys, and we got beat in some of these cups. So 7-2, that was fun. But let's get to the real game here. I was excited about Arsenal-Liverpool. I actually talked myself into thinking it was a big game, and Arsenal are going to give them put up a big fight. Okay, fine. Arsenal look better. They look better under Arteta. They look more organized. Their defense looks better. But it was men against boys. And I know, don't even bring up the Mane possible red card for his little, just a little jab in the jaw. We'll get to that, but I don't want that to be the basis of you getting down on Liverpool because there really wasn't much to get down on. Okay, Robertson, bad defending on the first goal with Lacazette. He went to clear it. It hits his heel. I don't even know how that's possible. Did you see it? It hit his heel and went backwards, and then Lacazette kind of dings it over Alisson. Alisson had no chance. That was bad. But other than that, Robertson made up for it with a beautiful goal. He makes this run from way back down the far post. Trent Alexander-Arnold hits him beautifully, a little deflection, but hits him on the far post, and Robertson hits it. Great goal. Mane scores, and then Jota, our big signing. He looked awesome. Did you see him play at all, Eric Neal?
I watched the game.
You watched the game? Does he look like a Klopp player? Yes. Does he look like he could play on the top up front? Yes. He works hard. I love the signing. I love it more than I thought I would.
I liked it more than you liked it.
I know. I was a little like, well, why don't we get Timo Werner? And now I'm thinking about it, watching Timo Werner with Chelsea. He'll be fine. Werner will score goals. He'll be good. And he could have played at Liverpool. But somehow this Jota guy feels more like a Mane Firmino type guy. Not like that superstar like Werner kind of is. So I love that signing. Naby Keita, I've gotten all over him. That was his best game in a Liverpool shirt. Alisson, that's the reason you spend all that money on a keeper. He was man of the match along with Sadio Mane. Salah played fine. It was just an all-around shellacking. And I know at 2-1, Arsenal could have pulled it out, a draw, but they didn't. And if you really watch the game, it was men against boys. I would like to say the title's over. The title's over, man. We'll get to what happened with City, but it's the only way Liverpool's going to lose this thing is if they beat themselves. Because the whole theory of City getting better, it's really Liverpool coming down to the competition, like I've said. And I don't see it happening. So it's only three games. It's 9 points. They're tied with Leicester. I think Everton, maybe they're in third place now, Liverpool, or second on goal differential. It was just a good day. And I want to hear your points, but don't make it too long.
Let me go ahead and ruin it for you.
You're going to bring up Mane. Let me predict. Mane, you're going to bring that up. The
It's
defense looking a little sloppy.
No. It's just part of my notes. Let me give you my notes.
Go ahead, Roy Keane. Go ahead.
All right. So I said, let me start by saying that they are going to walk the league again. Okay, like who out there is going to stop them? I can't even remember a time where the rest of the league was so inconsistent as they have been in the last.
Worse than last year? So worse than last year.
I mean, it's either worse or just a continuation of it.
Okay.
But there were a few annoying things for me. So the first of which would be that Mane should have had a straight red. And I sent you the video. And see, it's not like a still picture where you can, like, it's out of context. You see him run towards the player, look at the player, he's lining him up, and lift his arm and go to his face.
It wasn't as bad as it's the classic football move where the guy overreacted to. It wasn't that hard.
Okay, all I'm saying is you've seen them given for that and for less than that. Yeah. Okay? So that's fine. So
that's a what if. That's a what if.
What is VAR for exactly? If not for this type of
Well, it's not for handballs. We know that.
Oh, that was the first one. Okay. Second, Robertson and Jota both. And if you want, I've got the receipt.
Jota was not a handball. No way.
No. They both had the hand. Now, look, not in unnatural positions. I'm not saying they were out by their side or anything like that. I'm saying the ball hit their arms in the buildup to both of those goals.
It rolled up his arm. Rolled up his arm.
I 100% agree with you. There was no intention in it. Right. I don't think it helped him control it. But by the letter of the law, the way they've been calling it, if it touches your arm at all in a buildup to a goal, they've been waving those off.
But if your arm's in, they're not saying that. That's not letter of the law.
No, that's not true. You're talking about the how it's been in, like, you know, was it in a natural position, all that. Last year and this year, they've been calling it was if it ends in a goal. Now, I'm not talking about for a penalty for the other team. Mm-hmm. If it ends in a goal, if it hit your arm anytime, or any player's arm on your team, anytime in the build-up to that goal, they were calling off the goal. Remember, there were times where it was like 8 passes back, and it grazed someone's finger.
So, okay. Mane gets sent off. They don't get Jota's goal. You're saying Arsenal win or draw?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I started this conversation off with Liverpool are going to walk this again.
Yeah, and you're going to ruin it for me. And you're going to ruin it for me again.
These are some things that were annoying to me.
That's fine.
I think they would have won anyway. But if you're going off of how they call it, both of those actually touched their arm in the build-up to the goal. Those have been waved off in the past year in the way that the refs have been calling it.
Nobody will remember that 3 weeks from now.
What is VAR for? Again, if not,
that's a condemnation of VAR. And
okay,
it's
exactly.
a mess.
I'm not saying anything about Liverpool or their performance. It was a good performance, but these are things that were annoying to me during their performance.
Anything else annoying?
Third thing was
You're just annoying.
Saul is back to his selfish old tricks. Stole the ball off of Jota's foot in the box when he's preparing to take a shot.
Jota was about to rip it.
As soon as others start to shine even a little bit, you see this man just turn bright green.
I love him.
So jealous, and starts doing selfish things. So all of that to say, it doesn't matter. The defending champs always get those type of calls, no matter who it is. And it doesn't matter because no other team can string together more than 2 wins in a row. So my only solace is that it's another tainted season because you've got no fans. You have no fans in the stands. And by the time that the world is back to normal, where like you have just a regular, normal Premier League season, fans in the stands, everything's normal.
Then they'll lose, right?
Liverpool will be like over their run and we'll get back to normal. So
I'm not falling for this, Eric. Next year when there's fans, City are a little better, all this stuff, you will find something else that
I'm just saying. I think like Klopp will be gone as manager by the time we're back to normal.
Brendan Rodgers.
That's my only hope. That's my only hope that I have because there's no one is even getting close to doing anything that is competitive.
It's the golden era of Liverpool, man.
I thought City, they're a shambles. I thought Chelsea, they're shambles. I didn't think Arsenal, but there was like a slight hope. They're not even close.
Forget Manchester United.
Everton, Manchester United, farce.
Leicester and Everton will fade.
No, that's just it. They'll fade. And so I'm going to end this, beautiful tirade that I have with a quote from presenter Aaron West, who said, "I want to see my friends happy in life, but miserable in sports. That's it. That's all I want.
Well said. Well said. Let's get to your game. Let me just give you a background before we get to Wellesley. For some dumb reason, I always get excited about watching your games. I don't know. I always feel like you have talent. You have mid-level talent, so let me see it. But then you have Steve Bruce at the helm. Actually, you take it away. Hey, let Wellesley get on with it.
Let's go ahead and go to our man on the streets of Newcastle, Andrew Wells.
Hello, this is Andrew Wells, live from Newcastle, and he has me report on 2 games this week, the Cup game against Morecambe and the Spurs game. So, obviously, I'm going to talk about the Morecambe game, as I've said first, because, I mean, absolutely nobody, when I've seen online, expected the result we got. I mean, I was expecting 3-4-0 maybe, but not 7, which is actually the club's biggest record in the league competition. So everyone was just shocked, and with 9 changes to the squad that we played against Brighton, I mean, people were really surprised. I mean, I was just thinking, play the kids, save everybody for Spurs. So shows what I know. But I mean, honestly, though, that game was just brilliant. Although I didn't watch it because I'm not paying the fee over here for what it was, because they just ripped me off. But I was listening on the radio, and like all of a sudden it was going 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I'm like, what the heck? But then, as I've watched the highlights, we just battered them, which really is what you expect when the Premier League comes up against the League Two side. But I have got to give credit though to Joe Linton in that game. He just looked like a man possessed. Fair enough, it's lower league opposition, but he played an impeccable game. I mean, his second goal, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't care what people say. You don't try that if you're not full of confidence. And keeper was a bit of fault, but still wonderful goal. And then Jacob Murphy as well. He had a blinder. I mean, people are glad he's not going out on loan now, from what I've read, because yet again he produced a blinder of a game. I mean, man of the match for me. But arguably, though, I do need to speak about one thing that's really pissed me off in that game, and that is our fans. Because obviously, as I said, Joe Linton scored twice, and he puts his picture up with his still image of when he struck the ball on Instagram about his second goal, and all of a sudden you just got fans slating him again. I mean, he's damned if he doesn't, damned if he doesn't here. I mean, I really actually feel sorry for him, just for how much abuse he gets. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I can understand why people are going, but it's also incredibly harsh because the angle, it looks like it is going in, and I would have done the same thing. But I guess, obviously, that's the thing, but the fans really need to lay off his back. I mean, it was absolutely fucking shocking what happened to him. But really, that's all I'll talk about in that game, and then I'll move on to the big one, Spurs. I mean, my God, why is it with these clubs we always seem to get results which no one expects? I mean, although I have got to admit, I am actually embarrassed about getting a point in that game. We're just absolutely shit. I mean, there was no lack of it. Like, there was basically nobody was trying anything bar Joe Linton. I mean, honestly, though, he had the game of his life in the black and white shirt that game. I mean, for me, he was the best outfield player on the entire pitch. I mean, the runs he was making and everything, absolutely fantastic. Although the rest of the squad, bar Darlow, who also had the game of his life and breaking the British record for saves in the Premier League game, I mean, he was the man of the match. I'll give him a 9.5 out of 10 in my rating, and Joe Linton a 9. Everyone else is not even getting above 7. That's how bad it was. But although, obviously, we were getting battered left, right, and centre, and there was just no organisation from that cabbage head. So, I mean, I was literally saying to my dad as well, why is he not making these changes? We're embarrassing and everything. We didn't even have the stat popped up during the game. We've had 3 shots on target all season, and they've all started in goals. 3 in 3 games. It's just it's a joke. I mean, you could get a newborn baby doing better tactics than Bruce. That's how bad it is. I mean, it's a joke, although before I go, there is one final thing I need to say, and that is I actually feel really sorry for the Spurs fans. Because, I mean, the handball rules just became a fucking joke now. I mean, obviously, rules are rules. But it didn't deserve a penalty in my eyes. I mean, when you look at how he jumps up, it naturally happens. I mean, what the hell can you do? I mean, the rule definitely needs rewritten, and I can understand everybody's frustration. Even I thought it was a joke. I mean, obviously we've got the point though, and we've got 4 points from 7 games and 9th in the table, so it is better than what we expected, kind of thing. And with Burnley coming up next, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we could totally flop in that game because Newcastle. So basically, I'll talk more about that next week. And if things go well in the cup game, I'll talk about that as well. So until then, I'll see you all later.
All right, as always, I want to thank Andrew for that report. It's good to see his face in person again.
Yes.
I like the live reporting there with the Zoom. Doing great things there, Wellesley. Keep it up. So, like you said, our Moose Cup match. I mean, look, that's really our level, dude. League 2.
And Almiron, he looked good.
I think
Right?
we are the Liverpool of League 2. If you stuck us in there, we would be killing things. No, look, everybody got in on the act. Joe Linton killing it. I mean, but our fans, like, look, I've been hard on Joe Linton the whole time about everything, but not like personal kind of attacks. The guy can't even post himself scoring a goal without fans attacking the guy. I mean, at some point, I think for his.
So you're defending him? You're defending Joel.
No, I'm saying like for the good of everyone, just loan him out or do something because.
Or leave him alone. Or leave him
just
alone.
leave him alone. But I mean, he's a shambles. So I mean, look, beautiful, scoring 7 goals. I don't care who you're playing is always a good thing. But then you get to the Tottenham match, and I sort of had some sort of hopes, but the difference, and this goes to show my whole point about like how the rest of the league is so inconsistent. Spurs should have had 7 goals in that.
Oh,
game.
at least.
So again, our best player, Dubravka's injured. So you bring in Darlow, who then
killed it.
Our best player.
He was your best player.
He had some worldies in that, man, just saving everything. I mean, I almost like people were saying, look, that's what happens. You get punished when you don't take your shots. You were even saying that. But, I mean, some of those were perfect shots. Like, they put them exactly where you're supposed to. You can't help some guy standing on his head. Like all.
No, that happens. That happens. Where a keeper just has that.
It's not like they played a poor match or were doing anything
But
wrong.
they should have had 2 goals and put the game away, though.
They were just stubborn as hell. It was such a flashback to last season.
Yeah.
You play the most horrible, hard-to-watch, diabolical football you've ever seen and get some sort of random weird shit happen at the end. Now, again, everyone's bitching about the rule.
It's the letter of the law. I know.
The letter of the law. I mean, the guy's back is to it. If you jump in the air and someone heads the ball into the back of your arm that you never even saw, how can you call it? But, again, if we're following the law, that's the law, so it had to be a penalty. Callum Wilson got sort of abused a little bit because he was excited. He was like, look, I got a goal. We tied the game. I'm happy about it.
Was that your only shot on target, correct? Does a penalty shot count as a shot on target?
We've had, I think, 3 shots in the last 3 matches.
I think last game you didn't have any, right?
Yeah, right. No, that's what I'm saying. I think we've had 3 shots on target in 3 matches. We scored all 3 of them, which is great return on investment. Problem is you need more than 3 per match, let alone 3 in 3 matches. Averaging 1 shot on target per match, I don't know how you get anywhere. But, I mean, again, we look lost for ideas. The cabbage, I mean, what was really funny was Wellesley shoots me off his lineup right away and goes, I think we're 4-4-2. And I send him the Mike Bassett gif, and it's like 4-4-2, like Mike Bassett, England manager. And then all of a sudden I start looking at Twitter and people are like, oh no, we're in a 3-5-2. And they're like, no, it's a 4-2-3-1. Right. And then everyone's going, no, it's a 3-4-3. Look at this. And I'm like, if you can't even fucking figure out how they're lined up, what does that tell you? Like normally you could see kickoff and go, I see the
see the formation.
No one had any idea. It was 30 minutes in before we could nail down.
I think if I'm Bruce though, I start Andy Carroll. I think him and Wilson play 2 up top. I like the way he knocks the ball down.
No, but here's the problem. It depends
how he does that.
It depends who you're playing. Against Brighton, that's what he did, and it was a horrible plan because you've got 6'8" center backs that were just blocking.
The second half against Tottenham, Carroll was knocking balls all over the place.
But the issue is the cabbage isn't sophisticated enough to scout what other people do and then put together a lineup based on that, and then through the week manage your players into here's how you break that down. We just roll the ball out there. I swear it's like our over 30 men's league. You know, someone would get together and we'd huddle up in the beginning, like, you're playing right back, you're playing left back. I want you at center mid. All right, Steve Dempsey's going to play striker because he always plays striker. That's all he'll play. And we're going to roll it out there. Let's go, boys. Let's just do it. And you just ran out and ran around and did your best. That's Newcastle right now. I don't know any other way to explain it.
Yeah, you'd have a right-footed left back. You didn't care. You didn't care.
No, but here's the thing. 10th place after 3 matches.
Well, you're on.
We're on pace for our normal bullshit.
4 points out of 3 games, you're going to get over 40 points.
Yeah, my real issue is, like, okay, we've got Burnley next, who've only played 2 matches, but they're 0-2. They're guaranteed loss for us. Guaranteed. No way Burnley's going 0-3 to start the season. I can see it, or 0-0 draw if we're lucky. If we really, like, keep things up and we're organized, 0-0 draw. So, I mean, look, I don't know what to say. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It was ugly.
It was a depressing, horrible week of football for me all around. Aiden's team were a shambles. Newcastle was a shambles. I'm sure we'll get to the Crew. Just nothing to recommend it.
Yeah, no, so I watched the game, and let's just look at it from a Spurs standpoint. First of all, Mourinho was just – I mean, I actually felt bad for him. I mean, at 1-0, and with that penalty call, I was like, that handball – I actually felt bad for Jose.
But what's he supposed to do? Like, you can only set people up to go do their job.
I know.
And he set them up perfectly to do their job.
And I don't blame the refs. I don't blame them. This is the dumb IFAB law.
Yeah.
You know, like, what are they supposed to – it's the dumbest law.
It's nobody's fault, but it gives you these results. Where Jose did enough and Spurs did enough to walk out of there with all 3 points. They were robbed by the new law, and this is what happens. And it jumbles everything up, and that's why, because Liverpool are so consistent, they're going to walk this fucking thing again. Because no one else is, and therefore, all they got to do is not drop a point very often, and it's over. Who's going to challenge? Who's going to do it?
Not City. They just signed a new defender for like another – they've spent almost $400 million on their defenders. Man City.
Not well.
Yeah, not well. So let's just run through the rest of the Premier League because you're right. It's very inconsistent. It's bizarre. The big result was Leicester beating City 5-2. That was shocking.
Oh.
Let me go over my notes real quick. I mean, first of all, defending was terrible. No center backs of value. So Pep likes these center backs that are good on the ball and that can pass, but not good defenders. So he just keeps putting people in. Like John Stones is good on the ball. He is. But he's not a great defender. Their midfield is slow with Fernandinho and Rodri. And I know they have people injured, but slow as hell. Slow as hell. Look, Jesus and Aguero are missing. A lot of people are missing. Vardy gets a hat trick. I still say he's one of the top 10 Premier League strikers of all time. Guy's amazing. Pep is stubborn, man. Yeah. Any criticism of Pep? Are you ready to give him some serious criticism or no?
Well, look, again – they were missing a lot of players.
I agree.
But I'm not really criticizing him as much as I'm saying it feels like the project is winding down.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's like he's doing anything terrible or wrong or making any – I mean, some people said his lineup was a little funky, this or that, and he is stubborn. But, I mean, that's why he's successful.
He wants to score goals. He's not about defending. Anyway.
Right. And I think his time there – just seems to be – it's gotten stale, that the players are not – I mean, the way that Liverpool plays for Klopp and everybody is always – I mean, I was watching – because I talked to Aiden a lot about, like, what to do when you don't have the ball. Mm-hmm. If you look at Liverpool, the reason they're always able to shoot, like, spray 40-yard balls all over the place and do all these things is because everyone is constantly moving without the ball. If you watch Newcastle – you've got like 9 statues and one guy trying to dribble everybody. And he's looking frantically for someone to pass the ball to, but everyone's marked because not only are they standing still, they run up to the opposition player and stand still. They mark themselves. Yeah. But when you watch Liverpool, everyone is constantly at the same time running the space. So as soon as you get the ball and you're a Liverpool player, you pick your head up and you look and you're like, oh, okay, I can go 3-4 different ways. That's what makes it so good. Yep. And that's what other people are not doing. I mean, that's the main issue. And for City, I mean, because they're not fired up and they're not doing that, they don't have the same energy and the same desire. It's stale and it's not working. They got found out. People know what to do, and they're not bothered.
Could they
enough
make
to do
look? The
something
only
about it.
thing that Pep needs now is Champions League. So he needs
But
to
I mean,
win the
that's
thing.
not going to work either. We've seen what happened.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So he's in trouble. I loved watching the Chelsea game. West Brom goes up 3-0. I loved it. I was like, just because there's no Pulisic. Once again, our boy, the American hero, does not play, and it looks like Lampard's even saying he's going to get some special training. Special training means this is a problem. When you're like, hey, we need to find a different type of training for him, I don't see him coming back in a week even.
No, you know what the real problem is? Lampard needs him badly. And knows that he needs him badly.
Yeah.
And it must be so serious, his worry about him getting injured again, that he's like, look, I'll sacrifice it now and drop a few points now as long as I can have him long-term for the rest of the season. Because without him, we're a shambles. We're a shell of – I thought when they got those new players, it was like, all is on. They look so ordinary to me. And
they're not on the field. Or the two of their biggest players' signings aren't even on the field.
But and then their defense is still their defense.
Terrible.
They didn't do anything.
Thiago looked old. All right, let's go over it real quick. Alonso was responsible for 2 goals, and then Thiago, that was pathetic. You could have done that. I mean, this guy's supposed to solidify that back line, and that was bad. Look, we all make mistakes. It was just bad on your debut to make that mistake. It was just bad for Thiago.
He got Chelsea'd. Instead of Chelsea getting Thiago, Thiago got Chelsea'd.
The irony is, like, Abraham played well. He played well. A lot of the old guys from last year played well. Look, Kepa didn't start. They got Mendy. They finally signed. I think they've spent like over £100 million, way over £100 million on 2 keepers. And one of them is going to be on the bench. I mean, this Mendy guy is supposed to be pretty good. He's 28. I mean, he's not very experienced. I don't know. Is he going to be better? He's 6'6". I like tall guys. Peter Cech was that tall. Fine. Okay. I hope he can bend down a little.
No, but here's my thing. They spent so much money
on keepers.
What? No, but like on these other players. Yeah. Why would you not follow the blueprint that's worked for everybody?
Yeah. Keeper and center back.
Yes.
Keeper, center back.
So you go out and you get Oblak and you get Koulibaly or what's his name? The guy from Red Bull.
Yeah, I forget his name.
I can't Mkemba or I can't remember, but anyway, Mpamecano, I guess is
yes.
Yeah. So you do that. You get the look.
You don't need Werner.
No, there's a handful of guys. Half of them are already in the Premier League taken up. So you've got like a couple choices left. You spend all this money. You don't care about money. Go buy the best thing you can buy. But it's like almost like a personal thing. I don't want to spend money on a defender and a goalkeeper. Great. So you're never going to do anything unless all of a sudden Pulisic comes back and stays healthy and Ziyech comes back and stays healthy. Havertz turns back into Havertz and Werner turns back into Werner. Then maybe you can score 5, 6, 7 goals a game and try and
give up 2 or 3. Yeah.
But, again, do they look at anything close like they're going to challenge Liverpool?
No. And every week I'm going to take it. I know you love your Wellesley, but I'm going to take a dig every time, man. Wellesley. Hey, Wellesley, worry about Chelsea getting in the top 4, not winning the league.
No, he's sitting there every time I talk to him. He's like, "Oh, Dave's going to let me have it." What was I thinking? He has buyer's remorse on that page.
Hey, I give him Everton. I give him a shout out for Everton. I think they could, maybe Europa League. I don't think they're getting top 4 Everton, but that was a good shot. But let's go to Manchester United, another fake team. They played horribly. They get bailed out by the whole what was it, Maguire header at the end with the penalty. Come on, man, was that a handball? No.
Oh, but
the law was a handball, right?
Right, they're following the law.
So. And then there was 10 minutes of stoppage time. I didn't quite understand that one. It was like, what the hell happened there?
No, they just added on until we can give Manchester United the penalty. Like that.
Ferguson always got that. It was the Fergie clock or something. Yeah. So I turned it. It was 2-2. Brighton came back late, and they're about to do
that. I love when you do that. You turn it off early, and then you're like, wait, what happened?
No, literally. It was the last kick of the game, and they were about to do a corner, and I was like, fuck, I got things to do. And then I saw they won 3-2, and I was like, what the hell happened? I saw the highlights. I'm like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Manchester United are no good.
No.
You're not getting Sancho, are they? They're not getting Jadon Sancho.
I don't think it would help.
I don't think so either.
What's it gonna do?
They spent way too much money on Maguire. I guess Maguire's not really the problem, but he's not that great.
No, he's not the problem. No, the problem is the manager. Until they get a proper manager. We talked about this last week. This is going to be the whole season. This show, we could just put on repeat because this is going to be the whole damn season.
Only at the wheel, drunk at the wheel. Are you an Everton believer? What do you think? They haven't really played anybody, have they?
No, okay, but here's the thing.
Calvert-Lewin, by the way.
It's almost like I imagined it was going to be with Spurs.
Yeah.
With Mourinho. You've got somebody who is a serial winner.
Right.
Like they just win things. That's just what it is. They for both of them, they've never not won things. Like they always win. So because of that, and because they made some really good purchases, and he's had time to work with them, I really could see top four. And especially because of how inconsistent the rest of the
Manchester slips down, Spurs,
Arsenal,
mediocre. Yeah.
I mean Chelsea. So because of that, I really could see top four. Are they going to be consistent enough? And are they going to beat Liverpool twice when they play them? Because that's what it would take to have any prayer of winning the Premier League. They would have to beat Liverpool both times they play.
Oh yeah.
And that probably wouldn't be enough. But to have a chance, it's got to be that. So
they have some depth. I was going to say most of these play like Wolves and Leicester, they always kind of fade because they don't have the depth. Everton has a bit of depth.
Yeah.
So that's it. Do you believe in Calvert-Lewin? You think? I mean, he's got 5 goals already. Is he the real thing?
It's so funny. It reminds me of
Pookie.
I mean, look, yeah,
remember Pookie last year? He had like 1 million goals.
Pookie's gonna win the Golden Boot. Of course, my dumbass put him in my fantasy Premier League team. It's like, oh, Pookie, yeah.
Did you make any bad moves in your fantasy league this week? Like not put somebody in who scored 4 goals?
I didn't even check it. I was so traumatized from dropping Son, I didn't even look at it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I should probably check that. No, I'm not doing well. I never do well in fantasy Premier League. No, but anyway. I'm not saying Calvert-Lewin is Pookie. He's obviously much higher quality than Pookie. But I don't see him also. See, here's the thing. In general, the cream rises to the top. City is going to be a Champions League team, top 4 team, guaranteed.
Right.
I don't think they're going to win the league anymore. I hope they do. I don't think they're going to. But because the top teams and the top players are consistent. So I think Calvert-Lewin will not keep this up for an entire season. And
he'll get 15 goals. He'll get 15.
Right, exactly. But he's not going to score 25. Vardy will score 25 goals.
Yes.
So that's the difference. I think he's up and coming. I think he's under a good manager. He's playing in a good team. Yeah. But he's not going to be so consistent that he's getting a goal every other
I give Everton a chance at top 4 just because Ancelotti. You always talk about how a manager in this sport makes such a difference. I think that's the difference. Bruce would have them in the bottom half.
Oh, are you kidding me? They'd be relegated under Bruce. Same players.
Yeah. Now, the rest of the league, real quick. West Ham beats Wolves, like demolishes them. What the hell happened there? I thought Wolves are like amazing, so that was weird.
Again, inconsistent.
And then Leeds beats Sheffield United. Sheffield United can't do anything. They were like the amazing last year, and now they look off. But Leeds are going to be fun. They're going to be top 10. Definitely, Leeds are going to be top 10. I think they're going to give up a ton of goals, score a lot of goals, but they got a clean sheet, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Fulham suck. Villa are better, I think. So we'll see. I mean, we'll start looking at the standings maybe in a couple weeks, but it's fun. Thank God for the Premier League. Let's go around Europe. I want your quick comments. Bayern Munich loses 4-1 to Hoffenheim. You see that coming? I mean, what the hell happened there?
Again, though, it'd be like if Arsenal would have beat Liverpool. Would it really have changed anything?
No.
It's just going to annoy them. Whoever plays them next is going to be really sad.
Yeah. Now, I'm excited about Dortmund this year. They got all the kids. They got a spanking. They lost 2-0. I think it was Augsburg or something like that. You know what? Haaland, he looks like a big goof. He's kind of a goofy guy.
He is a goofy
And he almost got into a fight, but he looked like he was like 10 years old trying to fight. So, anyway. And he almost got a red card for that fight, by the way. But Dortmund, look, they're young. They're going to be inconsistent. The only thing that was a little weird for me, I watched Juventus versus Roma, but I turned it on in the 57th minute because I forgot it was on. and McKennie was getting subbed, our boy Wes McKennie, at the 57th minute. And I always say 60 minutes is the benchmark. If you get subbed before 60,
something didn't go right.
Something didn't go right. So I don't know. I didn't read a lot of the press how he did. I think they were losing 2-1. So I think they just wanted to change something up. So I don't know if McKennie had a good game or not. I haven't looked it up.
It sounded like he was getting blamed for a few things, but that people felt like they had put him in a bad situation.
He was a cult hero a week ago. That's what Italy is, man. We love you. Yeah.
He wasn't getting like abused or anything, but it was definitely kind of like a come back down to earth situation.
He's somewhere between game 1 and game 2.
We'll see if he starts next game.
That'll tell you.
That's how we'll know.
And then our boy Stefan, U.S. men's national team player, played in the Moose Cup for City, and he won. Yeah, right? That was kind of fun to watch. Let's get to MLS. Our Columbus Crew, who are invincible except for Saturday night. I watched that game. They look like crap. They lose 3-1 to Toronto. The one goal they get was an own goal. They look a little lifeless. Is this an anomaly, or did they get exposed a little? And they're missing Nagby, by the way.
Okay. I think both. I think it can be both of those things.
Yeah.
The thing is, they dominated that first half.
Yeah.
They gave up a goal, and then I was like, okay, well, game on. But they came out of the second half. I don't know if it was too confident or they're just tired because it was the third match in 9 days or like what it was.
And they had to travel to Canada. I mean, Connecticut.
Yeah. Connecticut.
How janky is that for MLS? They have to move Toronto to Connecticut.
Look, you want to talk about a tainted season. Look, I hope Crew win it. I hope they either get Supporter Shield or they win the MLS Cup because I want to see them in the CONCACAF Champions League if anything like that ever exists again. But talk about a tainted tournament. You've got teams that just played each other over and over again a few times. You've got teams that there's nothing normal or regular about it. They just basically are trying to get it done. And so it's completely corrupted the whole competition. It's just look, I'll claim it and I'll hope to get the jersey with the second star on it. But I mean, really, and if we're going to be honest, it doesn't mean anything. Crew, though, missing who's probably their most important player, Nagby. Tired. They just came out flat, and Toronto didn't in the second half, and they just got steamrolled. Yeah. I don't think that means that it's over or they're not going to continue to do well. But I would be concerned, though, about a one-off match, just kind of like MLS Cup or MLS's back tournament. Yeah. They should have won. They got knocked out by Minnesota, who came out and tactically did something against them. So I'd like to see them take that next step and go to the really invincible, where I don't care what you're trying to do to me, I'm going to do what we do to you first. And we'll see if they can do that.
The one thing about this so far is this Berhalter kid. I think he's quality. I think he
played well in the first half. He got subbed off. I mean,
he's only like 19. He's like 19 or 20, and I don't know. He started, so
he played well.
Yeah, Porter must have some confidence in him. So that's all I got, man. Any other MLS notes? I don't care about the rest of the MLS.
I really don't either.
Who gives a crap? All right, Eric, get off my lawn. I always want you to get off my lawn because of your Liverpool hatred. But look, I'm pissed off at this NBC Peacock app. Now, for people, we've talked about it in the past. I'm not going to get all into it. Like, we used to just get all the Premier League games. You knew it was on, like, certain channels. You had the schedule. Now you got to get a Peacock app and put it on your TV, right? So I have this Peacock app. And first of all, it's an app. So you can't DVR anything. You can't rewind or fast forward anything. So you got to watch the game live. You might watch a replay like the next day or a couple hours later, but I want to hit pause when I want to take a dump. I want to rewind it. I want to see the goal again. It's crap. And I don't think the HD is working well. It looks a little pixely on my TV. So I'm pissed off at NBC and this app. It's pissing me off. And then I can't find the games. I'm like, I go to NBC Sports Network. The game's not there. Then I go to Peacock. It's not there. And then I go to the regular NBC channel. Oh, there it is. And like, I know I can go to the web and find the game and where it's on, but I don't want to do that. I just want to turn on the TV. So you know what? Peacock, get off my lawn. I hate the app. It's pissing me off. And I don't want to spend $5 a month for this crap. There you go.
People have been real grumpy about it.
I'm grumpy.
I'm just kind of indifferent at this point. My main beef with the Peacock app is that because you pay, it's Peacock Premium, right? So it's really $10 a month because you pay $5 for the regular and then you got to pay $10 for the app on the Premier League. But because you pay the extra money, you get the honor of not having commercials. So when it goes to commercial, like at halftime, it just says we'll be back shortly.
That's true.
I would rather have the commercial. It's weird. I just sit here staring at this.
And it just says coverage will begin shortly.
Yeah, right. It looks like it's broken or something. I'm like, I don't know, man. I appreciate the thought.
It's not ideal.
Give me some sort of content or something. Don't just stick a friggin' thing up there. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, show me some highlights from Liverpool 30 years ago or something. Anything.
Something. Anything. All right. Yeah. So anyway, my Gomel this week goes to @_ Susieta. This is the second week in a row where someone posted their dream United States men's national team lineup, but inserted an MLS fraud, like no one would notice. So this week's one that this person, Susieta, posted has Stefan at keeper, Robinson at left back, Brooks at center back, Richards, from Bayern Munich. You've got Dest at Barcelona. You got Adams and McKennie. You got Gio Reyna in the 10. You've got Pulisic on the left. You got Josh Sargent up front, and of course, who do you think?
Jordan Morris.
Well, who? Of course, it's got to be Jordan Morris. So, why do they insist, these Jordan Morris stands, on putting this guy in here like it's going to be the best thing that ever happened in the world, and you've got no choice? I don't understand how running fast in Major League Soccer is some sort of golden ticket to the national team. And the worst thing about it, too, is that these are the same people who say Yossi Zardes should retire and he has no business being anywhere near it, even though he's got 3 more goals than Jordan Morris in the crap league that they're in right now. So for being a ridiculous dog boy stan, @ Societa, and the rest of you MLS apologist clowns, get off my lawn.
All right, Eric, it's a Newcastle Ask You Anything. Just real quick, I know what you're going to tell me, I think, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Just don't punch the horse, okay? Is Steve Bruce the worst manager in the Premier League? A. B, if he is, who would you get instead? And that's it. I don't have a C. But do you have – is he the worst? I looked at all the coaches, Dean Smith at Aston Villa. I looked at some of the coaches. What's his name? Scott Parker at Fulham. Is he the worst guy in the Premier League?
You could sort of say, because of the way that Fulham's getting destroyed right now, that Parker might be worse. But if you gave me the choice, if you said you can ship the cabbage to Fulham and take Parker, I'd do it. I'd bite your hand off. I'd do it in a second.
You do it you take a chance.
I think that he's a relic of like the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
Where you did the Mike Bassett and you lined up 4-4-2 and you lumped it up to your big, number 9 and you headed some goals in.
Would you take Ted Lasso over Steve Bruce?
Oh my God. You want to know what's funny about that is a lot of people are saying they love the Lasso show.
I know. So I gave a bad review here. Yeah. I got to give it another chance. I'm going to check because everybody's like, oh, it's so good.
No, I'm dying because I'm thinking I'm not watching that crap. And like people are like, wow, it's amazing. I'm like, hold on a minute.
Maybe I should try it again. I gave it an episode and a half, and I was like, this is lame.
No, but you know what? Some of the people that are liking it are pretty suspect. It's a lot of these MLS apologist people. So I'm like, I think you might be right. I think you might be onto something.
I'll give one more episode a try this week.
All right, give it a try. So anyway, long answer, short question. Yes, Steve Bruce is the worst manager. I don't know who we could get to replace it. But I would say I would trade any manager currently managing in the Premier League for Bruce right now at this moment.
What about the championship? Could he keep you guys up? Is he good enough if you get relegated to keep you up?
I think he's perfect for
I mean, not up, to get you back up to the Premier League.
No, probably not. All right. Am I ask you anything this week? So, we've got an international break coming up. And I was listening to Sirius XMFC, shout out 157. And they were talking about, I think it was Tom Rennie and Tommy Smith, about how right now you've got all these cases blowing up. Apparently in the Moose Cup, you weren't required to test players before up to the fourth round, but now we're going to the fifth round that you do have to test players. And all of a sudden there's teams blowing up with like 10, 11 positive tests, because obviously the virus knows that nothing happens during the first four rounds, but that, it's really contagious once you get to the fifth.
Right.
And so you've got the international break where players are going to hop on planes and fly all over the world to countries that have all sorts of different infection rates and different things, fly back. Is it really jeopardizing us having any sort of chance of finishing this season by doing this? Is it a good idea to even have the international break and have people leave? And is it even a good idea to have Champions League or Europa League this year? Because you're putting it up there to possibly have a problem for the Premier League.
No, like you said, these countries are having issues with the virus. Well, I mean, how is the USA going to get ready for any kind of qualification if we don't ever get together again? So I think we have to get together. What was your question? It was so long.
No. The question is, should they be having an international break for anyone right now? And should they have Europa League or Champions League this year?
As a football supporter, fan, I want to see all these competitions. I want to see the U.S. get back to playing well. I want to see them practice. I want to see Liverpool play in the Champions League. But from a practical standpoint, it makes no sense. If we're serious about keeping people safe, you can't do this. If you're serious, you can't put people on a plane from all corners of the world, bring them together for training, let's say U.S., and then you're going to play Scotland or England, and they're going to come to your country and play. How can you not have COVID run rampant all over these squads? It's impossible. So let's not be hypocritical. I'd rather them just say, we're doing the international break, some people are going to get sick. I'd rather them just say that, not like, hey, we're being really careful. So I'm mixed. I'm on the fence. But if we're going to stay safe, you can't do this. You can't. All right, Eric, I got a bellend for you. It's a flip-flopper. It's a flip-flop of a bellend here.
Okay.
So as you know, Gonzalo Higuain, the brother of Bobby Higuain, our famous crew player, he goes to Inter Miami. Big signing, big deal. You and I would cream in our pants if we got Higuain. We wanted him to go to the crew. So he's in his first game. It's against Philly, who are really good, the Union. And so I think it's like 1-0 or 2-0. Higuain is set up for a penalty kick, right? This could put them back in the game. He skies it over the bar. And I'm like, oh, my God, that sucks. But then the Philadelphia Union players are, jumping for joy in his face. Yeah. And Higuain gets in their face, and he starts pushing them and all that. So at first I was like, Higuain, man, you're a complete bellend. You missed the kick.
Yep.
You look like crap. Come on, man. That sucks. But then I thought about it. I was like, no, he's not the bellend. It's the Philadelphia Union, the whole team, and I couldn't tell the specific guy. The guy was jumping around like a teenager right in his face. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, that's
awesome. So that's the bellend. Philadelphia Union, you're the collective bellend.
I thought the same exact thing because I saw him miss that, and I was like, man, that was a dodgy penalty. That thing's still in orbit right now.
He's getting pissed off. I was like, you know what? You missed the penalty.
I would get mad too, though. If you just missed that on your debut and you're all frustrated, and someone's like, "Ha ha!" right in your face, you're going after him, man.
They're jumping for joy like they're little kids. All right, I'm giving Higuain a pass on that one.
All right. This week's Bellend Award winner for me is, well, hold on first. I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah, please do.
About Matt Turner.
Yes.
You know Matt Turner, right?
What, the keeper?
Oh, you actually know. Okay.
Yeah,
Worldwide phenom, amazing young talent.
Yeah, people are saying play him instead of Stefan.
Yeah. Everyone knows Matt Turner. Actually, no one knows Matt Turner. Really. Who the fuck is he? He's the goalkeeper for the New England Revolution. But Matt Turner isn't my Bellend Award winner. He's just some guy playing in MLS.
Yeah.
So it's John Space Muller. He's at John Space Muller if you're into reading stupid shit or watching extremely well-produced propaganda videos. I think I touched on this a little last week, but it deserves more detailed explanation. I came across this elaborately produced video that is titled, "Okay, Fine. Let's talk about Zach Steffen, Matt Turner, and stopping shots," right?
Okay.
So the title is harmless enough, but this video reminds me a lot of that stupid ass Plandemic documentary, and I'm doing the air quotes there, right? The one that looked so legit, it was a bunch of pack of lies from anti-vax tinfoil hat brigade people, right? Saying that the whole coronavirus thing was planned on everybody. Anyway, the video goes on to show how Turner is a better shot stopper than Zach Steffen because he keeps his legs wider.
Oh.
Now, I'm no video editing expert, so you'll have to Google these videos yourself. I recommend two specific videos, okay? The first video is of Steffen starting for Manchester City in their last cup match. The second is any video of Matt Turner playing for the New England Revolution. Now, you don't actually have to watch the videos, okay? I mean, feel free if you want to watch the videos. That's fine with me. It's just not necessary for this argument. My point is made by the fact that the videos exist. Steffen plays for Man City, and Turner plays for the fucking Revs, okay? And that's all you need to know. What a fucking idiot. Like, Man City scouts didn't look at days worth of film before signing Steffen. Like, they wouldn't have spotted a major shot-stopping flaw. Like, they overlooked him not being great with his feet because of his amazing shot-stopping, right?
Right.
So, like, they would have signed him if there was probably a cheaper, better option up the road playing in New England. Your stupid propaganda video is comparing a guy in a cup game against a guy playing against MLS players. Spot the difference? Yeah, no shit. Turner might look better. I bet I'd look fucking amazing against the U9 team. Stop with the MLS agenda. Stop trying to push for MLS players to be on the national team. We have passed the point where it's necessary. And we should be focused on making the next step and challenging the best teams in the world with our best players, challenging themselves around the world. So for polluting the minds of susceptible MLS homers, John Space Muller, you are my Bellend Award winner. All right, it's time for this week's Twitter shout-outs. As always, a big thank you to Andrew Wells. He's at Wellsy95 NUFC. Also, a giant thanks to @RealUSMNT. This account posts everything you need to know about the U.S. men's national team. They've been retweeting us every week. We really appreciate it. Shoot the Defense podcast, they're at Shoot the Defense. The Ball Chat podcast, they're at Ball Chat 1. The Bryant and Me podcast, they're at Bryant and Me. Thanks for all the retweets when we are promoting the pod each week. We really appreciate it. So I've just got a few funny ones that I've collected this week. One is by BR. And they've got this great picture of it. It's like the Legion of Doom. So you've got Suarez at this table. And at the table, you've got Thanos. You've got Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. You've got Darth Vader, the Joker, and then Diego Simeone and Diego Costa. And then there's like honorable mention pictures on the back. You've got Hannibal Lecter. It's just a thing of beauty. So that really is what's coming up.
Hey, the biter and the kicker are on the same team.
Oh, man, you got a lot of problems if you're playing them.
Yeah.
Newcastle United fans, they're at Newcastle_FC. Uncomfortable statistic. Goals against Morecambe FC. Messi 0, Joelinton 2. There's levels to this game.
Joelinton!
You gotta love that. I love when people do the stupid ass comparisons. Like, well, I bet you've never done it. Yeah, because he doesn't play in England and he would score 55 against Morecambe by himself. Yeah, with his weak foot. Footy Humor, they're at Footy Humor. Another Diego Simeone. It's really good. It's Diego Simeone when he starts Diego Costa and Luis Suarez up front for Atletico Madrid. And it's got Mr. Burns from The Simpsons and says, "Release the hounds." So,
Oh, it's gonna be like the bad boy Pistons in basketball.
oh,
Man.
it is. They're gonna try
Dirty.
to out red card each other. Is there like a golden boot, but for red cards? Is it the golden card?
And they're both like 50 years old each.
Yeah. Odds Bible, they're at Odds Bible. I felt immediately something was going wrong. We got the UEFA delegate to confirm, and it was 5 centimeters smaller. We demand for the goals to be replaced. There's no fooling Jose. So Jose went to their Europa League match, took one look at the goals, and was like, they're too small. Made them go measure it and found out they were 5 centimeters too small and made them switch.
He eyeballed it?
He eyeballed it.
That's
so Jose doesn't play around.
Mac Daddy, man.
Gotta love that. That was beautiful. Troll Football at Troll Football. I couldn't go a week without getting the Liverpool dig in, but You'll Never Walk Alone. It's top 10. They're at top 10 galleries. It says Liverpool defender Nico Williams blacked out his Twitter account after receiving abuse over his performance against Lincoln, which his side won 7-2. Guys are brutal. And so football.
You could have done better.
Yeah, they're at away days _. This is a thing of beauty. You're going to have to go to the YouTube to really enjoy it, or just go to at away days _. Dutch club FC Emmen have unveiled their new stadium entrance after agreeing a sponsorship deal, and this is no joke, with a sex toy company. So they basically have the entrance to their stadium. They've got these big inflatable legs that they put right by the door so that you just got to walk straight in through the inflatable legs to get into the stadium for their new sponsor, the sex toy company. So
it's like a gynecologist.
Oh, it's beautiful. So anyway, that's what I got this week. Appreciate it. We've done another one. This is if you're into short shows, we've really done it for you guys this week. I think we're under an hour. So
we're under an hour. Eric, you didn't talk that much. That was awesome. I'm going to email Matt Turner, tell him you say hello, and you'll never walk alone, my brother. See you next week.
All right, man. See you.
Peace.
That's our show for this week. Please check us out on Twitter at @Rash_podcast, on Facebook at 2 Rash Challenges, or email us at 2rashchallenges@gmail.com. Also, check out our website, 2rashchallenges.com, where you can find articles, videos, and photos. And if you like the show, tell a friend, and make sure you go to iTunes and give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, for Eric, our producer and engineer Ezra Jack Lewis, our main man on the streets Andrew Wells, and myself, we say cheers.